Ever dreamed of moving to the Philippines for cheap living, island life, and endless sunshine? Sounds perfect, right? Well, not so fast. Around 600,000 Americans live in the Philippines today, but many quickly realize paradise comes with problems. From slow government paperwork that can take months to internet speeds rate 83rd globally, and even power outages that happen more often than you'd think, life isn't always smooth sailing. Some expats are shocked by the heat, humidity, and traffic in Manila, while others struggle with language gaps or the high cost of imported products like cheese or peanut butter. So before you pack your flip-flops and say goodbye to the US, let's look at the 8 biggest challenges Americans face in the Philippines and how to survive them with a smile. When it comes to security and crime in the Philippines, there are some real concerns Americans should be aware of. The U.S. Department of State currently rates the country at level 2, exercise increased caution, citing risks like robbery, kidnapping, and terrorism. Official data show a drop in national focus crimes, murder, rape, robbery, theft, by about 26.8% in early 2025 compared with the same period in 2024. Yet, a crowdsourced index still ranked Manila as the city with the highest crime rate in Southeast Asia, scoring 64.5 in a global database. So even though things are improving, if you're an American living or traveling there, it's smart to stay alert, stick to well-lit areas, keep valuables secured, and avoid high-risk zones. Many Americans move to the Philippines hoping to work remotely or find local jobs, but matching US-level pay is tough. The average Filipino monthly salary is around 18,423 pesos, about $320, according to 2024 labor data. Even with a projected 5.5% salary increase in 2025, the difference remains huge compared to US wages. Most local companies pay rates aligned with the local economy, not expat expectations. High-paying positions in management or tech are limited and often require local connections or work visas that can be difficult to obtain. While some Americans succeed through remote US jobs or business ventures, those relying on local employment quickly realize the pay gap. Living affordably is possible, but earning competitively remains one of the biggest challenges. Healthcare quality in the Philippines can be unpredictable, which often surprises Americans used to consistent US standards. While major cities like Manila and Cebu have modern private hospitals, public facilities in rural areas struggle. In 2024, the country spent about 1.44 trillion pesos, roughly 6% of GDP, on healthcare, yet access and quality still vary widely. Only 41% of public hospitals meet staffing standards set by the Department of Health, and in some provinces, there's just one hospital bed for every 4,600 people. Private care is generally good, but can be expensive without insurance. For expats, this means medical quality depends heavily on where you live, and why many Americans choose to keep international health coverage for emergencies or serious treatment. Pollution and cleanliness are significant challenges for Americans living in the Philippines. Air quality can be particularly concerning. In 2024, the country's average PM2.5 concentration was 14.82 micrograms per cubic, nearly 3 times the World Health Organization's recommended annual limit of 5 micrograms per cubic. In Metro Manila, fine particulate levels have occasionally spiked to 186 micrograms per cubic, classifying the air as very unhealthy. Beyond air, waste management and street cleanliness vary widely. Litter, drainage problems, and inconsistent sanitation services are common in both urban and rural areas. For Americans accustomed to cleaner streets and air, these issues can be jarring, making it essential to consider location, invest in air purifiers, and adapt daily routines to maintain health and comfort. One significant challenge for Americans in the Philippines is the limited ability to own land. The 1987 Philippine Constitution restricts private land ownership to Filipino citizens or corporations that are at least 60% Filipino-owned. This means foreigners, including Americans, generally cannot buy land outright, whether for residential, commercial, or investment purposes. The common workaround is entering into long-term leases, which usually last 50 years with an optional 25-year renewal, or forming a Filipino majority corporation to hold property. While these options provide access, they are more complicated and carry legal considerations compared to outright ownership in the U.S. For Americans accustomed to open property markets, this limitation can be frustrating and requires careful planning, legal guidance, and understanding of local regulations to ensure secure and compliant property arrangements. Frequent power and water outages are a significant challenge for Americans living in the Philippines. While electricity is widely available, households experience an average of 5.7 power interruptions per year, totaling about 8.8 hours of outage, with Luzon and Mindanao often facing more frequent disruptions. These outages can cost the economy hundreds of millions of pesos annually, highlighting the impact on both daily life and business operations. Water supply is also inconsistent. Although 97% of households have access to piped water, only about 50% receive safely managed water, meaning shortages or low-quality water can occur, especially during the dry season. For Americans, this requires planning, such as investing in generators, water storage, or selecting residences in areas with more reliable utilities, balancing comfort with convenience and safety. Traffic congestion and inconsistent infrastructure are major challenges for Americans living in the Philippines. According to the 2024 TomTom Traffic Index, Davao City ranked 8th worldwide for congestion, with drivers spending an average of 32 minutes and 59 seconds to travel just 10 kilometers, losing about 136 hours per year in rush hour traffic. Metro Manila is even more notorious, with daily vehicle volume reaching 3.82 million in 2024, making commutes unpredictable and lengthy. Public transportation systems are often overcrowded, and road maintenance or infrastructure projects frequently lag, causing bottlenecks and uneven travel conditions. For Americans used to well-planned highways and reliable transit, navigating these challenges requires extra planning, patience, and flexibility. Choosing housing near work or transport hubs can help, but time management remains a constant concern. Dealing with corruption is a significant challenge for Americans living or doing business in the Philippines. According to the 2024 Transparency International Corruption Perceptions Index, the country ranks 114th out of 180, with a score of 33 out of 100, below the global average of 43. A 2024 survey found that 97% of Filipinos believe government corruption is widespread, indicating that bribery, favoritism, and inefficiencies are common concerns. For expats, this can affect everything from securing permits and licenses to navigating contracts, taxes, or even basic administrative tasks. While not all interactions involve corruption, Americans must exercise caution, maintain thorough documentation, and be prepared for delays or added costs. Understanding local regulations and working with trusted legal advisors helps mitigate risks and ensures smoother operations and daily life. Moving to the Philippines can be exciting, but Americans need to be aware of the real challenges. With around 600,000 U.S. citizens living in the country, many encounter issues that can affect daily life. Security and crime remain concerns, with certain areas rated higher risk. Healthcare quality varies widely, and frequent power and water outages disrupt routines. traffic congestion in Metro Manila and other cities wastes hours daily, while infrastructure inconsistencies make commuting unpredictable. Pollution levels, especially PM 2.5 concentrations averaging 14.8 micrograms per cubic meter, can impact health. Limited land ownership, lower local wages, and persistent corruption further complicate life. Understanding these realities, planning carefully, and adapting to local conditions are essential for making the most of living in the Philippines while avoiding unexpected setbacks.